Hello, Prof.
Yeah,
Good afternoon.
I know.
I've observed that you are trying to add to what was already done before now. From my observation, you had produced. You had finished the work at some point. I can see the legs were done. Yeah, can see the figures, but for some reason you're beginning to add some flesh to this work. What could be the reason? Why so?
It's just because of the nature of the material I'm working with. First of all, like I told you, I have to block out the features, the forms, before I begin to go into details. That is for precision. So, like you see what I did before? That's why I started all over again, observing the proportion. Because like the rules in sculpture, even if you can you can even trace it back to Greece. We know that your from the forehead to the jaw is your hand. This your hand. That is from here to here is equal to from this place to where the hair begins.
Okay.
That's the proportion. So even if you have this hand, it will help you to determine the person's face.
Okay. The length of the face.
The length of the face. And you know that two head lengths is what gives you the shoulder.
Okay.
The shoulder, naturally. So by the time you finish, you go around and check the proportions. Where you need to add, you add. Where you need to subtract, you subtract.
Okay.
In order to get the proportion, because proportion is key to modeling and rendering any rendition in sculpture. If you have, except where you want to, if it's an abstract or semi-abstract, when you want to stylize or you want to exaggerate some forms, you can do that based on your choice, what you feel like doing. But when you are working on realism, you have to observe so many things. Like I told you, the head length must be 2, from here to here, there to the waist. These are the things to observe.
Okay.
And make sure they conform.
Okay. So what about this observation I have here? I noticed that he's a bit muscular in the stomach region. Why
Yes.
so?
Yes. You know, in sculpture, when you exaggerate those depths, it makes the form to come up. Like you notice that in African sculptures, that's the style of African artists from time, our ancient artists. They make more of use of abrupt transition. That's why you see the Yoruba, the Bini women. If you see them in wood carving, you see provocative breast.
Okay. So they're protruding.
They are protruding. You check their ass, it's protruding. So it's abrupt. But when you decide to cover some of these depths to make it subtle, it's a smooth transition that you are applying. So you now see the transition between one section to the other section. It's a smooth transition, not abrupt. So in sculpture, that's what it forms a kind of tolus, which the wise sculptor employ as one of the elements in getting the structural rightness of any work.
Well, I was thinking, this is my own thought, right? I was thinking that probably you were making the image a bit muscular because he's masculine.
Apart from that, I'm trying to tell you what we do in sculpture. If I fill in these contours without exaggerating it this way, it will look subtle. It becomes that smooth transition, and it will look flat.
Okay.
But by the time I'll finish, because I have to really finish it, I will really come back to finish it properly the way it's going to look. Some of them will be covered, but not too much, so that they will still show. So from a distance, you will feel it. And it's part of that agony, the suffering of Christ. Because there's no way you can nail a human being on the cross with those stress that the ribs will not come out.
Okay, so
In such a way. So if you make it short, it will look as if he's not feeling any pain.
yes, so apparently,
Yes,
he
it's part of-
was going through some excruciating pain.
Yes,
and you had to more like depict that
Yeah, you
from the
have.
forms such as in his body.
Yes, you
That's
have to.
interesting.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing I would like to find out from you is why the choice of cement? Why choose this medium?
I choose, we call it in sculpture concrete, not necessarily cement. We call it, I choose concrete because of the nature of our environment,
Okay.
the weather. We have observed that concrete can stand the test of time here, especially when you add other recipes in the thing like hardeners and some of them in different ratio to mix the powder
Okay.
before you begin to mix with other. That's why it becomes, so it will stand the test of time. If you come back to this work in 3 years, if you strike any metal, you see light sparkling as if it's a rock.
Okay.
So we've researched that in the studio.
So
and
if-
that's
if-
what we are doing.
If I understood you perfectly,
Yes.
I mean, you use the choice of cement because of its longevity.
I say concrete
Oh,
because
concrete
it's
is
not
it?
only,
Yes. Concrete because in it you have a mixture of
of
sand,
different recipes and
recipes you mean,
Yeah.
sand and
many other things like say hardeners,
Hardeners,
and
yeah.
different admixes. We
Okay.
have admix
okay.
things we use to make it stand the test of time and outdoor because of our the harshness of our environment.
All right.
Too much sun and too much rain.
All right, Prof. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this educative moment with you. Thank you.